I'm using a piping bag. So spoon the blue icing into your bag and let's go. It's so much fun icing. Ice around the top of your cupcake. I'm doing it in a swirling motion, just like this. These look delicious already, but we're not there yet. Now it's time to make our minions. Take a Twinkie and cut off the bottom. Using your black icing, decorate. I'm drawing one line around the top. And then 2 dots. On top of the dots, I'm placing my sweets with the hole in them. Perfect! We've got goggles already! Now we need to give him a smile. And of course, some hair. And there's our first minion. He's so super cute. Now it's time to do all the other ones. Remember to do the strap for their goggles first. But don't forget, you can decorate your minions however you like. This minion's got white M&Ms. And a big smile. The white M&Ms means I can use black dots to make him look a little bit crazy. Don't forget the hair. This minion only has one eye. I'm using chocolate sprinkles to make 3D hair with him. Super cute. Now it's time to put your minions onto their cupcake. Look at that! They look so super gorgeous. And remember, you can make any different combination of minion faces. Super, super cute. I love them. These would be great for a party. Now we need to ice for each bird. Except we're starting with green, so we're going to make a pig first. Next, we're making one of the blues. And Bomb. He's black. Now we're making red, and obviously he's got red icing. And finally Chuck, who's yellow. Perfect. Now we've got our base colours, it's time to decorate. First up, I'm starting with our green cupcake. This is one of the pigs, and I'm dipping it into the green sprinkles. Now I'm doing the same with Chuck, so he's going to have yellow sprinkles. The blues obviously have blue, red has red, and finally we're finishing off with black, for Bomb. They look super cool already, however, we're going to make them look better. Let's take our marshmallow and make the pig nose. We're also going to make the other bird's stomachs. Cut the marshmallow in half. That can be our snout. And now let's cut some circular shapes out of marshmallows to make a cool stomach. Looking good. Perfect. Use a bit of green icing to glue the snout to our pig. Now we want to cover it in green icing. just like this. Cover it in sprinkles, so you don't know that it's not part of the cupcake. It'll be a really good surprise when you bite into it. Now let's make the other noses, or the beaks. Take your orange fondant icing and cut a thin strip. We now want to cut some triangles. Perfect. These are going to make great beaks. Take your mini marshmallows and cut them in half, and these make perfect eyes. So let's assemble. Let's start with one of the blues. Add the eyes and the beak. This could be Jay, Jake, or Jim. Who knows? Use some black writing icing to give the eyes some detail. And of course, we need to add eyebrows. Remember, if you need to adjust the writing icing, dip your finger in some water so it doesn't stick. Add 2 jelly beans at the top, and there you have it. Done. Now let's do Chuck. We're going to add a big piece of marshmallow so he's got a belly, and of course his beak. Now let's add some eyes. Use the black writing icing once again to add the center of the eyes. And of course, some eyebrows. Add some black jelly beans at the top to finish him off. And there we have Chuck. Now let's do red. It's exactly the same process. Belly, beak, and eyes. Looking good. Remember, you don't have to make one of each. You can make all reds. Don't forget the eyebrows. And of course, some feathers on top, the jelly beans. Red looks great. Now let's finish decorating our pig. This is a bit different. We're going to add 2 mini marshmallows for eyes, and then we're going to add some detail on top by putting 2 green jelly beans. Of course, don't forget the black pupils and 2 nostrils. I'm also adding a smile. This is a cheeky pig. And finally, a red jelly bean. This is his silly tongue. And there you have it. Doesn't the pig look great? Let's finish off with Bomb. He's constructed in the same way that the other birds are, so add his belly, his beak, and his eyes. Looking good, Bomb. Don't forget the eyebrows. And some feathers on top. Now it's time to paint his stomach with some silver. Remember, it has to be edible. Cute. There you have it. We have Bomb done. We've got the blues, red, Bomb, Chuck, and a pig. Perfect Angry Birds cupcakes. Now we're going to take our buttercream frosting and dye it blue using the food dye. Now we're going to put the nozzle into the piping bag and spoon the icing in. Now our piping bag is ready. We need to grab our cupcakes. I'm going to do a different piping design on each cupcake. That's going to make them look amazing. This one's got a swirl around it. Perfect. It's a classic design and it looks great. This one I'm going to do loops. Super cute. It looks a bit like ribbons. I'm going to do splodges on this one. Like giant dots. This adds a lot of texture. They almost look like frozen icicles. Great! Now I'm going to do another swirl, but this one is going to get dipped in sprinkles. So let's go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to smooth the edges using my hand, and that's going to create a whole new design. It looks a bit like a snow cone. On the other cupcakes, I'm going to sprinkle the sprinkles on top. These look super cute. Perfect for Elsa. Looking good. Now let's take our Elsa cutout. We're going to tape a toothpick to the back of it. This means that we can insert it into the top of our cupcake. Doesn't she look great? And there you have it. She looks amazing sitting on top of these awesome cupcakes. Remember though, when you're eating the cupcake, make sure you take Elsa and the toothpick out. Perfect! These look amazing. Now we're going to take our icing from our cupcake kit and pour it into a bowl. Add some butter and beat it in. Now this is great. You're going to start to see the icing go pink. That's because it's from the Hello Kitty Cupcake pack. You don't even need to add food dye. Isn't that awesome? Now I'm taking some white fondant icing and rolling it out with a rolling pin. Make sure you pop some baking paper on either side so it doesn't stick to your pin. Now I'm cutting out my Hello Kitty cupcake heads using my mold. How great do they look? Use the stamp to push down and add detail. Don't worry, we're going to add colour later. First we need to add the eyes using the black icing pen. Now we're going to add whiskers. It's already looking like Hello Kitty. Now we need to get some of our yellow fondant icing to make a nose. Roll it into a little ball and stick it on. Finally, Hello Kitty's pink bow, of course. So cute! Twist and then add a tiny little ball on top where the knot is. These are looking great! Now it's time to add them on top of our cupcake. So we're going to take our icing and put it on top. This will make sure that the fondant icing sticks. It's kind of like glue. It'll also make it even more delicious. Don't these look great? And they're so easy. So take the green fondant icing and roll it out flat. Use the cookie cutter to create a circle. And then use it again to make it more of an oval shape. Perfect. Now let's do the same with the other one. Don't forget to lightly dust your work surface so that the fondant doesn't stick. Now I'm taking my second cookie cutter, which is actually the letter J, but I want to make a question mark, and this is going to work perfectly. I'm using one of my J's to cut up and make the dots at the bottom of the question mark. Perfect. Now it's time to put our J, or question mark, on top of the green. Slightly wet your fingers and then manipulate the bottom so that it looks like a question mark. See? Isn't that perfect? Add the dot and it's done. Let them set and dry. And now let's make the Batman logo. Cut 3 circles out of the yellow fondant icing. We're now going to do the same thing and make them into an oval shape. Now it's time to make our Batman template. Roll out some black fondant icing. And then we're going to use our paper template to cut out the exact bat's shape. Use a cocktail stick to get detail that you can't get with a knife. And then, simply place them on top of your yellow. Use a little bit of water on the underside to make it stick. There's a tip from the top. Perfect! That looks great! Amazing! Now we need to set them aside to let them dry and set. In the meantime, I'm going to take my black fondant icing and spoon it into my piping bag. I'm also going to do the same with my green fondant icing. Now it's time to ice. Take the green and do a swirl on top of the cupcakes that we've already cooked. I'm making 3 green and 3 black. This means that I'll have 3 Riddler cupcakes and 3 Batman cupcakes. Now let's add the fondant. Perfect! These are great Batman cupcakes! Don't they look awesome? Perfect for a Batman party. We're going to add butter and our icing sugar to a bowl, though we're going to add the icing sugar a little bit at a time. This makes whisking it easier. Let's add some more, and whisk again. And finally, the last bit. We're now going to separate our icing mixture into 4 different bowls. This is because we want 4 different colours. Let's start off by adding blue food colouring to this bowl. Give it a good stir. And now we're going to add it to our piping bag. Insert the nozzle and then fill it up. Yum! This is going to be delicious! We're now going to repeat this process. For the next colour, I'm going to do red. Give it a good stir. Nearly there. Repeat the process of putting the red icing into another piping bag. Don't forget to insert the nozzle. Scoop it in there. Keep going. And that's red done. Set that aside and now let's make the green icing. Add green food colouring and mix it all together. We're going to repeat the entire process. Remember, practice makes perfect, so you'll be really good now. Insert the nozzle into the piping bag and spoon the green icing in. Now we're going to finish off with the white icing. We don't need to add any food dye to this because it's already the right colour. So we're just going to spoon the remaining icing into our final piping bag. So there we have white, green, red and blue icing. It's time to decorate. Let's give our ice cream cupcakes a swirl on top. I've got one colour for every cupcake, but remember, you can use as many different colours as you like and you can make as many different cupcakes as you like. Blue looks great. Now it's time for red. This is strawberry. We're going to finish off with green for peppermint ice cream flavour. To finish off our ice cream swirl cupcake cones, we just need to decorate. You can add any different type of sprinkle you like, or even some chocolate flakes. What did you add? Let us know in the comment box below. Don't these look delicious? Super yummy. They could be real ice creams, but they're not, they're cupcakes. Perfect if you don't have space to freeze them. And there you have it, ice cream swirl cupcake cones. Take your piping bag and your large nozzle. We're going to spoon the blue icing into the piping bag. I'm decorating 3 cupcakes with the blue. Delicious! I'm now using red icing to decorate 3 more. We now want to split the royal icing into 3 different bowls because we're going to add different colours. I'm making pink in one. In the second, I'm making a darker pink. And in the third, I'm making red. Now we want to take the smaller piping nozzle. And we're going to fill our bags. Here we have all 3 colours. Now I'm going to add some baking paper over the top of my Peppa Pig picture. It's time to do the outline in the dark pink. Trace the outside of Peppa's head, as well as her snout and her ears. If you need to soften the edges, add some water to your finger before you dab the icing. I'm also doing her eyes. Now I'm going to place my white candies on top of Peppa's eyes. We're going to set Peppa aside and we're going to do exactly the same thing with George. The process is exactly the same for George, but we're not going to use any candies for his eyes. Now I'm going to take the light pink icing and add water. We're going to use a technique called flooding. This means you're going to add the light pink icing that has been watered down to Peppa, but because we've used icing around the edges, it won't go any further. This is going to create a really great smooth finish to Peppa's face. Don't forget her ears. Using red icing, give Peppa a smile. Don't forget her nose. And I'm using black icing to add detail to the eyes. Now it's time to flood George's face. Using the pink icing, fill in all the gaps, just like you've done with Peppa. Fill in his ears and his nose. Now we're going to Peppa. I'm using dark pink icing and I'm going to go over the detail we've already done. So I'm going around her eyes, and also around her entire face, nose and ears. Doesn't she look great? I'm going to add some cheek detail with the lighter pink. And then I'm going to let it dry. Now we've done the detail on Peppa, it's time to do the detail on George. His face has been flooded in exactly the same way, and I'm now repeating the process of outlining the detail. Because George's eyes are quite small, I'm not adding candies, I'm using white icing to create the detail. I'm doing 2 dots. Now I'm using black icing to do his mouth. I'm adding 2 black dots to finish off the eyes. I'm adding the icing using a toothpick, just to make sure that I get it perfect. I've also surrounded the mouth with pink icing, just to highlight it. Don't forget to do some light pink cheeks. Smooth it down and let it dry. And then, it's time to put it on our cupcakes. Doesn't that look awesome? I'm putting Peppa on the red cupcakes and George on the blue cupcakes. They look amazing! These would be great for a party. And they taste delicious too. Peppa Pig Cupcakes. I'm using white fondant icing, and I'm going to use the circle cutter to create a circle for the bottom of Nick Wilde. Now I'm using a rectangle shape to fit Judy in. Perfect. so let's let them dry. I'm now going to make Judy Hopps using the grey fondant icing. I've cut out a circle to be her face. And now I'm going to cut out her ears. Now I've got my ears, I'm going to assemble. Lightly dust your work surface with some icing sugar. First of all, I'm going to stick my circle to my white rectangle, and I'm going to do the same with the ears. Use a dab of water on the back. This acts as glue and will mean it sticks properly. Perfect. Now I'm creating the inner ear, and I'm doing this using the peach fondant icing. Don't forget to use your template to get the right shape. I'm also using some peach for the nose. We want 2 small balls. Using some of the excess white fondant icing, I'm going to create the lower half of Judy's face. I'm doing this using the circle template, and I'm cutting it in half, just like this. Now I'm using the edge of my cookie cutter to create an awesome shape that's perfect. Set them aside, and now let's make the eyes. Perfect! This circle cutter is going to make a great shape. Looking good! Now it's time to assemble. Let's put the inner ears on. I've put a little bit of water onto the base to make it stick. And I'm doing the same with the bottom half of Judy's face, her nose, and her eyes. I'm now using the black writing icing to create the detail in the eyes. Wet your finger and then dab. This will mean that there's nothing sticking up, but don't do it with a dry finger because you'll ruin the design. The same applies with the mouth detail. Perfect. Let's add some eyebrows, and now using my writing pen, I'm going to add some eyeliner. I'm also adding detail to the nose and the ears using my red writing pen. Finally, a bit of white in the eye. And there you have it, Judy Hopps. Let's get started on Nick Wilde. Roll out some orange fondant icing. We need a bright orange base. Cut out the shape using the template we have, just like this. Now it's time to stick it onto our circle base. Use a bit of water, it will act like glue. I'm using my cookie cutter to get rid of any excess orange at the bottom. Now it fits perfectly. Let's make the ears. Use your cutout as a template. I'm using a bright yellow fondant icing which I've rolled flat. Now I'm going to make the detail for his mouth. Again, I'm using yellow fondant icing. Perfect! Let's make some eyes, just like we did with Judy. Except this time, I'm going to use peach fondant icing to make the eyelids. Cut the circle in half and then add on top. Let's assemble. Here's his mouth detail. Make sure the back is slightly wet. Now let's add the ears. Perfect! Time for the eyes. Don't they look great? Let's use our writing icing to create the detail. First up, we have the nose. Now let's do the detail in the eyes. I'm using my black icing to do this. I'm also adding some eyebrows. And with my pen, I'm creating the mouth. I'm also going to add some detail to the ears. Finally, a tiny bit of fondant icing in the eyes. Let's quickly finish the shading on the ears, and there you have it. Time to assemble our cupcakes. I'm using icing. I'm using icing on the top of our cupcakes, like so. Delicious! Now let's add the fondant discs on top. Perfect! There we have it, Nick and Judy. Don't they look great? Zootopia Cupcakes. So first we're going to make the cupcake cases. This is really simple. You're just going to use your marker pen to make lines down the side. Then we're going to cut the top off our cupcakes. Next, spread some of the icing on top. And then we're going to put the popcorn pieces on top of the cupcake. Finally, we're going to drizzle with some of the golden syrup. Yummy! Don't forget to pop them in your cupcake cases. And there you have it. Really cute and fun popcorn cupcakes. Put your second lot of butter and your icing sugar into a bowl. Give it a good stir. And then use your electric whisk to make sure that it's all mixed in. We're now going to add our cream cheese. Keep stirring. Finally, we want to add our pink food dye. Use the electric whisk to make sure that it's all mixed together. Now it's time to decorate. We're going to use the strawberry jam to add a layer to the top of our cupcakes, which should have cooled down by now. Use a knife to spread it thinly, and it looks a little bit like blood. Now, to make sure that the brain bit comes out really well, you can use a piping bag or a piping container. The brain is separated into two halves, so we want to draw a line down the middle and then squiggles radiating outwards, like so. See? We're now going to do this on the other half. These look awesome. They look like little brains, and they're edible. Perfect for Halloween. Now all you have to do is decorate all of your cupcakes. Remember, jam first, and then the icing. Perfect! These are great for a Halloween party. And there you have it. That's how you can make your very own brain cupcakes. So the first thing you need to do is, using your red pen, draw stripes on the outside of your cupcake case. This is just for decoration. Then it will look like this. Next, we're going to cut the top off one of our cupcakes, like so, and then cut the other one. Next, we're going to squeeze it into a cone shape. Ice the top of the first cupcake and pop the cone on top. Next, we're going to ice it. I've used green icing and I'm going around it in a circular motion. Then I'm putting the balls all over. And finally, topping it off with a star. Don't forget to put it in your new cupcake case. And there you have it, a really awesome Christmas tree cupcake. We're then going to spoon the mixtures into different piping bags. Remember, if you don't have a piping bag, you can use a sandwich bag with the corner cut off. Now we need to put them into the cupcake cases. Remember, we're trying to create a marble pattern, so it doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it's better if it isn't. This is going to look so awesome when the cupcakes are finished and you cut into the side of it. Now we need to pop that into the oven for 10 to 12 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. Gosh, they look delicious already, don't they? And we haven't even put the topping on. So the next thing we want to do is to make the icing. We're going to roll out the green icing and create a swirly shape with our knife. We're then going to do the same with the yellow icing. Create the same swirly pattern. Now we want to put it all together. Lay it onto your board and place each of the green and the yellow on top of each other. Now roll it out and we're creating an awesome camouflage pattern. Doesn't it look cool? Now all we need to do is to take a cookie cutter and cut some circles. These are going to go directly on top of our cupcakes. So lay it on top like so. Doesn't it look awesome? Now repeat that for all of your cupcakes. And there you have it, really awesome tiger camouflage cupcakes. Amazing! Now we're going to mix our icing. Add the icing sugar to a big bowl and start to whisk. We're going to add some water in slowly. Keep stirring. Now we're gonna add our black food dye. Ooh, creepy! This is to make our icing look like the night sky. I've added a little bit more because I want to make sure that my sky is really dark. Now we've baked the cupcakes at 180 degrees for 10 to 20 minutes, or until they've risen correctly. And once they've cooled down, it's time to ice. So using a spoon, spoon the icing on top of the cupcake. And we're now going to attach some of the smaller stars. I've decided to spell something out. Can you tell what letters these are? Why don't you let me know in the comment box below? Remember, play around with big and small icing stars. You can do any pattern that you want. It's so pretty. And there you have it. That's how you make Twinkle Twinkle Little Star cupcakes. Yum! Now I'm adding some chocolate icing and some sprinkles. And there you have it. Can you believe it? That's a microwave cupcake. Let's make another one. I'm going to split my mixture into 5 separate bowls. Into these bowls, I'm going to add different food colouring. I'm starting with green. Followed by pink. This is a great colour. Now I'm going to add blue to the third bowl. Make sure you mix it in. Wow, yellow looks great. And finally, red. Now we've got a rainbow. We're going to build it up bit by bit in our teacups, so we're starting with blue. Now I'm adding pink. And a bit of yellow. Followed by green. And finally, some red. Remember, don't fill up the cup too much because the cupcake will expand. Pop it in the microwave for 1 to 2 minutes and there you have it, a rainbow cupcake in a teacup. And you made it in the microwave. Now it's time to decorate. I'm using some icing and sprinkles. Super cute. Amazing! So that's how you can make a cupcake in a microwave. Super quick and super easy. Now I'm going to cut my perfect rainbow muffin in half and show you what it looks like. Ready? Ta-da! Doesn't that look cool? Look at all the different colours! So now we need to ice our wonderful cupcakes. Use a knife and spread the icing on top. Once you've done that, we need to sprinkle the sprinkles on. I find it's easiest to put them on the worktop. And then sprinkle some more. And there you have it, a perfect rainbow cupcake. Rainbow on the inside and on the outside. I love it!